morning, everyone. It's Kat Bhat from Digital Leopard, and today we've got with us Debbi Clark, a photographer. Debbi, would you like to tell us a little bit about your business?
I shoot fashion editorial portraits. I studied at Central St. Martin's. I also run an art foundation supporting disadvantaged kids I teach them photography and film and many other projects in the arts. So I literally started photography when I was 27.
Wow, that's an early start.
Yeah, so I was 27 and I took my book portfolio because I was applying for courses at colleges, art colleges, and I got into Central St. Martin's, and then I went over to London College of Printing, which was then, like, because it was printing, because I was not digital, I was analog, so it was old school, and obviously everything's moved now to digital, and it's now called London Digital Communications, I think, the college, but it's part of the UCL collective. So I studied 3 years doing that. Then I became a photographer, working my way by assisting a couple of really cool photographers, one being Ian McKell and another being Terry O'Neill. And then I kind of moved quite quickly because I had a lot of friends, so being connected really helped, I think, in the industry. So also did a lot of portraits with some of my friends, and from then on, it's the most amazing job in the world. I love my job. I love it.
I understand, because I love what I'm doing as well. There's just something great about being creative, but at the same time, running your own business. Have you worked for yourself for a while then, or because you said you just assisted people to start with, but then you set out on your own straight away after that?
I set out straight away because the funny thing is, I then had a baby when I was 35, and that was my first baby. And then I did, for a couple of years, I did some kids, like kids campaigns and kid photography, because it meant I could stay at home and not travel around. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's amazing, flying around the world and traveling around. It was fantastic. But when I had my babies, I wanted to be with them. So,
of course,
I think, that's the beauty of being a photographer or a filmmaker or whatever you are. I think it's like, it's all creative. So you're always in a moment, and, wherever you are in the world or wherever you are, you can always establish a photographic business, I think.
Absolutely. And it's really interesting that you said you traveled the world before that with your photography.
Yeah.
I had a different business, which was a travel business, adventure travel. And I used video to promote it. But again, after a while, you just don't want to travel every day. You want to kind of settle down for a bit and have some time for family and friends.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, traveling is fantastic. When it's, you're going to get these great jobs, and you, as you say, Kat, you've been going around, traveling around, but suddenly you're like living out of a hotel room, or, your suitcases and your kit's always hired. You don't sort of seem to, you don't have a base. And then now I've got a studio, and I've got my foundation, my art foundation, which is Sir Hubert and von Herkomer Arts Foundation. So many of my friends are ambassadors, and my patron is Helen McCrory. So we've got like a really great foundation, support the kids so much in what we do. And I think
the foundation sounds amazing. How did you get this started?
So I got this started 12 years ago, actually, because what I started doing, I obviously had so many great portraits that I'd been shooting through my work. And my husband, his great-great-grandfather is Sir Hubert von Herkomer, sorry. And then we connected after the Tottenham riots in 2011. We thought about funding courses with my work. So yearly I have an exhibition, and all my work that's sold at my exhibition all goes to the foundation to support the work that we do. So
that's kind of incredible. That sounds really good. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you. I like doing it. It's great. It's beautiful.
So Debbi, I can imagine that as a photographer, you would have been quite affected by the coronavirus, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, business-wise, definitely, because you can't go anywhere, can you? And photography is tactile. You need to be with the person. You need to see it. It's a funny question, that, because somebody got through to my Instagram, Debbi Clark Photography, if anyone wants to know. But somebody got through and messaged me and asked if I would do a photo shoot on Zoom. And I said, well, it's really weird. It's not something, I mean, it's a really good idea, actually. But it's like, I kind of, because I do portraits, I really like to connect to the person and be with that person. So, and I said, I can help you on a Zoom, and I can sort of help you with your camera angles and explain to you how to do it. And you can do, maybe a self portrait, but I can't really photograph you with my laptop. So it was really hard. But interestingly so, through lockdown, I wrote up a project for my kids at the Art Foundation. And I got another fellow photographer, Paul Romans, who does documentary photography. And we taught 16 children and their families. I sent the Olympus, because I'm sponsored by Olympus. And Olympus gave me EPL8s, these little digital cameras with lenses. They're really cool. And we sent them to all our children. And we, for 12 weeks, did a Zoom lockdown documentary, which was so incredible that we're actually going to produce a book from it. So we did manage to do something really positive in lockdown. So
that sounds awesome. But yeah. I mean, I can see photography would be very tricky, and I've been kind of hesitating a lot before actually doing any videos on Zoom. But the more I do it, the more I realize we will be in the lockdown for a while, and we don't want to have like a gap year, where nothing happens. People still have events. They still want those events recorded. Yes, it's not going to be the same image quality as you would have. Professional camera, but at least it's something.
It's something. You get the essence, don't you? You can, you get a feeling. I did a film in lockdown. Well, I did the stills. I didn't do the film. Sadie Frost did a film in lockdown called Contact, and I did the stills. And I'll send you the link, actually, Kat. It's a really
Please
cool
do.
film. And I went to the screening last week. It was like a small screening at the Everyman Cinema on Islington. And it was amazing. When you look at what we did and the dynamics of that film, it was absolutely fantastic. But it is like, you can do more and more on Zoom, because you kind of get more creative, haven't you? You've got to get more creative, and then you've got to think, this would be a great idea. And then you can get people maybe to do stuff, give them ideas, and then you can do like maybe a salon on Zoom. It'll be good, wouldn't it? So it'd be quite cool.
That sounds really good. So, Debbi, what has been your biggest business challenge so far? Has it been the coronavirus and the lockdown, or have there been others?
No, I think the coronavirus, I mean, obviously 12 weeks, you kind of locked down, you can't go out and you're not working, so you're not making any money at all. So that was tough, really tough. But then, funny enough, when we came out of lockdown, I literally did about, in 1 week, I think it was about 6 jobs, like 6 quite big jobs, because it was all like on low teams, like so small teams. So obviously it's not like massive lighting coming in, and you haven't got like a food, but so it was really quite cool the way we did it. And the funny thing is, everyone was so thirsty for creativity and thirsty to do things. It was quite beautiful, actually. So it was like, hopefully that will keep me going.
That is so lovely to hear, because a lot of my clients, and those are some of the regulars, they're kind of hesitant to confirm dates. I used to do a lot of events, like last year it was all about events, so I can understand where they are coming from. But I'm getting a lot of inquiries, but not so many actually converts into the video shoots just yet, except for the one that we worked on together.
Yeah. That was a good video shoot. I'd love to see that, Kat, actually, your footage, and I'll show you the pictures when they're done. We'll have another one. We'll do a little salon and swap out all creativity. But I think video shoots, you're trying to get it done. I think a lot of the campaigns and a lot of the clients, as we did, remember the day we did, you did the video, I did the still, And then I think, more importantly, it was done on one day. Do you know what I mean? So rather than, and normally you say video shoot, you're going to be 6-7 hours, and the photography is the next day, the stills. But we managed, didn't we, to do that? I mean, I think it was a 4-hour shoot in total, right? And
that was very efficient. I was quite impressed.
It was efficient because everybody just was like, yes, let's do something. And it wasn't like faffing around. Do you know what I mean? So no, not faffing, that's probably the wrong word, but I mean, we just didn't have time, but at the end of the day, we did get some great shots, and I'm sure you got great videos, so it did work out.
It was great. But Debbie, I just realized we haven't actually answered the question. So what has been your biggest challenge in your business career so far?
The biggest challenge, I suppose when I had my children, that was my biggest challenge.
Oh, wow, okay.
Not like, I mean, professionally, it wasn't my biggest challenge, but business-wise, because I couldn't go away and earn the amount of money I was used to earning. So, for instance, if you go to LA for 3 weeks and you're on a campaign, you kind of go away 3 weeks, right? And then sometimes you'll stay there because while you're there, you get quite a lot of offers from studios and you meet lots of people. So you kind of could end up spending 2 or 3 months there and earning a lot of money. But then when you've got your children, or when I have my children as a woman, which I don't want to leave my children, I just had to I sort of stuck to London, and I didn't even want to go sometimes you'd have to go to Liverpool and you'd have to go blah, 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 but I didn't really want to leave them. So I just sort of made my London connections more viable, but it became more portrait work actually, which is great, but it isn't where the money is, which is horrible to say. But I still, funny enough, I've become a lot more grateful actually and creative for being. And it's not about the money, it's about being and creating beautiful images, and you can do that with no money. So it depends, your lifestyle choice, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? So I did stop, I don't make as much money as I used to, but then I don't think anyone does, obviously. But so I think the choice was children, or keep running around the world being a professional photographer, doing the massive campaigns, rather than sticking to the portraits. But I'm really happy with what I'm doing now. But I suppose when my children are growing up, which they nearly are, I may well then go running around the world again.
You must start jet setting again. I wouldn't be surprised. Is there a piece of advice that you would like to offer to other entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I would actually. I think you want to be a photographer, you want to be a creative. I think in the beginning, the money is not always there, but if you've got the passion, it will be there. So it does come. And I think try and assist really good photographers and make sure you get paid to assist, because people, you can afford assistants on jobs and they do get paid. So try and sort of make sure that you're a professional. My assistants are brilliant. Karen, she brings some of Kit with her. She's really, make sure you're on it and make sure you feed your photographer. Don't get involved in it on the shoot because they don't like that, but make sure their kit's ready, make sure their kit's organized, and start doing that. And sooner or later, quite a lot of people you meet along the way, models and things, will ask you maybe to do a little portfolio shoot, which I don't get time to do that anymore, because also, test shoots, and do lots of test shoots with really cool people, and really, feed your creativity and don't give up, because you will make it through. That's what I can tell you.
I think that's the best piece of advice as well. Yeah. Just sometimes people just give up too easily.
Yeah, don't give up, because it's not a dream. It's always it's not a dream, because a creative journey is pure, and you'll always make money in some shape or form. If you're dreaming just about being rich and being richer and making loads of money, that's not the life. That's not what it's about. It's about being creative and enjoying what you're doing, and just making amazing imagery, I think.
Brilliant. It's been inspirational to speak to you like that.
Thank you.
Is there anything you would like to add?
I would like to add, try and depending on what what sort of genre of photography you're doing, and documentary, portraits, fashion, editorial. So many amazing photographers out there with so many amazing books. And, you know, I think try and get some books, because I know we can look online and we can Google that, which is great, but sometimes having those books and feeling it and seeing the depth in paper and what you're doing, it helps you when you're printing, because you can think, oh wow, you can't see that on the screen, you can see that in you know, paper. And think about when you are doing your exhibition, think about your paper and how you want to sort of project your image in your exhibition. Think about the context of what you're shooting as well. And, you know, and most of all, just really, when you're on set, be nice to everyone, because, you know, it's really important. Love each other, I think.
It makes a difference.
It does. It does. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button below, and whatever you do, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.